Tiger Woods injured in a single vehicle car crash this morning just outside of Los Angeles, just after 7 a.m. local time. But the LA County Sheriff's Department is saying the Tiger is suffering from non-life-threatening injuries, and there are reports that he was conscious when help arrived this morning. His agent saying the Tiger has suffered multiple leg injuries and he is currently undergoing surgery at a nearby hospital. Now, many of Tiger's friends are playing this week at a WGC event. Justin Thomas, one of them, he was scheduled for an interview just a short time ago, and that is right in the middle of when all this broke. He was asked about the Tiger Woods injury.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sick to my stomach. You know, it hurts to see one of your, now my closest friends, you know, get in an accident. And man, I just hope he's all right. Just worry for his kids. You know, I'm sure they're struggling.
And this is a statement from the PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan. We have been made aware of Tiger Woods' car accident today. We are awaiting further information when he comes out of surgery. The statement goes on to read, on behalf of the PGA Tour and our players, Tiger is in our prayers and will have our full support as he recovers. Want to bring in Doug Bell. We spoke with Doug right when news broke that Tiger Woods had been involved in a car accident. We didn't know many details at the time, Doug, but as we progress here, things looking a little bit better than we originally feared. The word is non-life-threatening injuries at this point for Tiger, and he's currently undergoing surgery for multiple leg injuries.
Well, Chris, when you said that a few minutes ago, I let out a sigh of relief because I honestly was just flabbergasted by the news about an hour ago when I came on with you. Was very nervous, upset. You always think the worst, but now it appears that in surgery for leg injuries, which is bad enough, but the fact that it wasn't life-threatening is incredible news. But I think what you saw there in the comment from Justin Thomas and other players in Bradenton, I'll be there tomorrow. All of these players, almost 100% of them, grew up idolizing Tiger Woods. And Justin Thomas is one of those who not only idolized him as a young man and patterned his game after him, but now has become close friends with him because they live in the same area down in Jupiter, Florida. So this news, when it first broke, it hit the PGA Tour and the players and the caddies and PGA Tour officials very, very hard. And so everyone collectively now is breathing easier, knowing that it looks like Tiger is going to come through this surgery. And now we focus on a potential comeback with Tiger Woods. But first things first, and I cautioned everybody when I was with you about an hour ago, golf was irrelevant. We needed to get some good positive news that Tiger was going to be okay. And while there'll be a long recovery and a long rehabilitation process, Chris, I do think what you reported a few moments ago was good news. I think Tiger is going to recover from this.
And this, of course, happening in Los Angeles County out in California, just after 7 a.m. Pacific time. We know that he lives in Florida, but he was out in California, Genesis Invitational. Can you shed some light on why Tiger was still there early in this week, a couple days after the tournament?
Well, Chris, he grew up in California. He's a California kid, and Riviera, the Genesis Invitational, was the very first professional tournament he played in as a 16-year-old. They gave him a sponsor's exemption, and they showed that footage numerous times this weekend on the CBS coverage, and it's phenomenal to watch that golf swing when he was 16 years old, and the fluidity of the swing and the power of the swing and how skinny he was and the speed that he produced and how far he hit the golf ball. That was back when he was 16, now 45 years of age. As you mentioned, lives in South Florida. But the Genesis Invitational, all the proceeds go to help the Tiger Woods Foundation, which helps hundreds, if not thousands, of young people get college scholarships all over the world. And so Tiger was there. Because that was his tournament last weekend. Gladly and loves to go back to Los Angeles, to Riviera. And he was in great spirits over the weekend, talking to Jim Nantz on CBS. And then handing the championship trophy to Max Homa. And then on Monday, he stuck around because he had media obligations, one of which was a photo shoot and video presentations from Golf Digest. And other athletes flew in to get with Tiger. And Tiger was giving them golf lessons that you'll see on videos down the road, I guess. One of those was Dwayne Wade, the great basketball star who retired a couple of years ago. But he was busy on Monday. And then today was obviously out early in the morning when the terrible car crash happened. So that's why he was out in California. He was going to head back to Florida. And we kind of hung on those words. When Jim Nantz pressed him, Jim kept saying, we want to know, are you going to play in the Masters? And Tiger told him, I hope so. That was the goal, to get back for the Masters. And there's the video right there. They were shooting video for Golf Digest. Tiger was in great spirits, man. You saw it. It came through the TV screen. He and Dwayne Wade are very close, as he is with many athletes down in the South Florida area. And that's why he was out there. And unfortunately, the accident occurred this morning. But again, fortunately, from what you're reporting, Chris, not life-threatening injuries. So that is the best news that I've heard in the last hour. And it really makes me and all the people involved with professional golf feel really, really good.
That's what an LA County Sheriff's Department lieutenant told CBS Los Angeles moments ago, that it's non-life-threatening injuries, that he believes Tiger was conscious when help arrived, and that he was taken out through the windshield of his vehicle. And we kind of heard a little bit more about the road he was driving on, a steep downhill grade, so much so that there were runaway truck lanes there, and that Tiger Woods lost control, car rolled over and went through the center median as well. Tiger Woods undergoing surgery right now. And surgery is a word that's been synonymous with Tiger Woods, Doug. I mean, you go back over the last decade, it's a laundry list, and, you know, hate to do it, but can you just update us on all of the work that he has had done to his body over the years? I mean, we were talking to Michael Breed earlier, one of our golf analysts, and he said, yeah, Tiger's 45, but he has the oldest 45-year-old body on planet Earth.
Well, I look at that graphic right there, 2008, the ACL repair surgery. He also had a fractured leg. That was after he played with both of those injuries when he won the United States Open, beating Rocco Mediate in that Monday playoff, and then told everybody about the injuries. And it was amazing when you look back at what he accomplished that week. And he did it with those terrible injuries, a fractured bone in his leg, a torn ACL. Somehow he played through the pain and won. And then suddenly the back injury started taking hold. And when he had his fifth surgery on the spinal column, and he called it a tune-up, back around Christmas, it was an uh-oh moment, because we all thought at 45 years of age, could Tiger come back yet again? But then we thought, you know what? We've always written him off occasionally here and there, and he's always surprised us and come back. So I wasn't one of those. I thought, yeah, I think he's going to be able to come back after this, taking it slow, listening to his doctors. And he told Jim Nantz just that. Again, his doctors told him exactly what he could do. He could go out and putt and chip, and then gradually start hitting golf shots. And as he told Jim, he was hoping to get back for the Masters, which would have been an incredible comeback. But now with these leg injuries that he suffered in this car crash, that will be put on hold again. Age is certainly not on his side, Chris, but you harken back, 1949, the great Ben Hogan was involved in that terrible car crash with his wife Valerie, driving back on the highway from Phoenix to their home in Texas, and just outside of El Paso, a head-on collision with a semi-truck. And the great Ben Hogan, he jumped over to save his wife Valerie. The steering wheel went just above him, but the rest of the engine just collapsed on his legs. People thought Ben Hogan would never walk again, and yet 4 years after that, he came back in 1950, but 4 years after that, in 1953, he won 3 major championships. Didn't play in the PGA, but he won the British Open, he won the Masters and the US Open, had a ticker tape parade down Main Street there in New York City. And that was perhaps the greatest comeback I ever saw, Chris, until Tiger came back after all his injuries and won at the Tour Championship. To me, that was even bigger than what Ben Hogan did. And I didn't think, I thought that was it. That was the zenith of a comeback. And then in 2019, he wins the Masters, which was truly remarkable. Then he wins again in Tokyo to tie the great Sam Snead with 82 wins, the most in PGA Tour history. And we thought, here we go, Tiger's coming back. Now sidelined again with the back surgery, and now sidelined again with the injuries that he suffered in the car crash. Time will tell, but at 45, we'll have to see if Tiger has one more comeback in him. It would be an incredible story if he does, but for now, I think we just need to pray and hope that he can get back in good health, where walking is not an issue, the back injury is not an issue. He can get with his family, get with his kids, and lead what would be a pain-free life. That's what we have to hope for now. And then golf comes later.
Yeah, well, his agent announcing today that it's multiple leg injuries, and he's undergoing surgery on his legs right now. And although, you know, the back has kind of taken precedence on over all of his injuries over the years, a 5th back surgery. How about going back to 2008, Doug, and playing through that leg injury, which was, look, we all make, you know, remarks about, oh, a player is a warrior, you know, he's a fighter, you know, stuff that you use for guys who actually go to war. But Tiger Woods, the way he fought through that first leg injury was incredible.
Yeah, it really was. You know, I was at Torrey Pines, Chris, and won that U.S. Open, and multiple times throughout the week, he would hit a drive off the tee or maybe an iron shot in the fairway, and he would just go down on the ground in agony and pain. And there were some who thought that maybe he was being a little dramatic. Maybe he was putting on a little bit of a show. And then time after time, he would hit a putt. He rolled in the birdie on the 72nd hole to tie Rocco Mediate, which forced the Monday playoff there at Torrey Pines in San Diego. But then after he won the U.S. Open is when he revealed to everybody that, oh, by the way, not only do I have a torn ACL, but I'm playing with a fractured leg, basically a broken leg below his right kneecap. It was amazing to think the pain that he went through and the remarkable performance that he set forth that week. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. The roars were amazing in 2008. And then, Chris, he didn't win again until the Tour Championship in 2018. He went a decade without winning because of all that went on physically. I mean, it took him 10 years to get back to championship form. Now at 45, can he get back to championship form again? He doesn't have 10 years. We'll have to wait and see. That'll be the next big storyline for Tiger Woods. Let's watch him recover. Let's get him back to 100% where he's healthy, can be with his family. And then we'll worry about golf. And that'll be a huge decision for a man who arguably is the greatest to ever play. With all due respect to the great Jack Nicklaus, in the modern era, there's been nobody as great as the one and only Tiger Woods.
Doug Bell, appreciate the perspective and the time here on CBS Sports HQ as always.